Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
With the recent news of the Civic Center's shortened lifespan, City Administration is working to secure funding for a new event arena. This week, City Council approved a motion that would have the city apply for grant funding from the Government of Saskatchewan through the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program. If the grant is approved, the city would receive over $16,000 from Saskatchewan and $20,000 from the federal government. The city would still have to put $13,000 towards the project. While the city is optimistic about the grant, it's unclear how many municipalities will be applying for the $77 million up for grabs.
This is where we're starting, and this is our starting ground, and this is where we'll be working towards in the new year and getting after it very quickly in the new year as to where getting a feel from the Government of Saskatchewan, where are we at, then we'll also be having that conversation with Government Alberta and the federal government.
The city is planning to apply in the first phase of grant funding for shovel-ready projects with the deadline to submit being January 11th. Council has still not approved a location for the project. They're expected to make a final decision on a location at a special council meeting once a report on proposed locations is complete.
Actually, the city's looked at 4 different locations, I believe, and all mainly with city property. And again, they're trying to determine where the best location is.
The ICIP grant funds projects that improve access to recreation and community infrastructure. The city applied for this grant to go towards the arena project last year, and it was unsuccessful. With Christmas less than 2 weeks away, a few local businesses are working together to help support a local charity while getting in the holiday spirit.
What up, Lloydminster? It's your dentist, Neki Jamal, and we're back and it's Christmas time.
Wayside Dental Center is teaming up with Brixton Shoes and other local businesses to put together a Think Lloyd First holiday box. The Think Lloyd First campaign encourages residents to shop local, and the proceeds from this season's boxes will be going to the olive tree.
It's really an initiative that we started last year to support local businesses, but also to support a charity in our community. And this year we're supporting the olive tree. And the whole point of the box is every single dollar is put right back into the community. So like the cost of the box is $75, and it's basically a $75 donation right to the olive tree, and we just want to support our local charities.
Only 100 boxes were made, and they're filled with items from local makers, and there is a variety big enough that each person will find something to enjoy.
This year we have coffee from Prairie Lily Coffee Roasters. We have To Die For popcorn from Soup de Jar. We have these beautiful, those round ball sparkly earrings all you ladies wear from Bella Moda. We have honey from the Burley Bee, and we also have the world famous Spiro's secret sauce.
Last year, the boxes received a lot of support from residents. Jamal is hoping this is the case once again, as it's going towards a good cause.
We want it to sell out because that means we give more money to the olive tree. And, especially this time of year, we want all our charities and our small businesses to get all the love that we can give them. So if we can do this, it's just a small part that Wayside and Brixton Shoes does for our community. And we just want this to sell out again this year.
The boxes are available to purchase online at Brixton Shoes website for $75. With the holidays just around the corner, why not support local and some local makers and artists? Josh Howerlack has the details on a local shop filled with products made by people from the community.
Located on the north end of the city, hidden in an industrial area, a small shop has been giving local artists and makers a space to sell their products.
Everything is of a certain quality. Everybody here is good, and we have a little community.
At the Crafty Crates Artisan Market, all products are handmade and are held to a high standard of quality. Also, every product sold in the store is made by someone within a 50-kilometer radius, keeping all the products as local as possible.
Yeah, well, we have jewelry, just about everything across the spectrum, to woodworking. We have like the laser cut lakes, even local authors.
Hogan says the space was created due to last year's craft fairs being cancelled and local makers having nowhere to sell their products. With that, Hogan opened his market and rented out individual crates in the store to give makers a safe space to display and sell their products to the community.
So we're happy if they sell from home. We're happy if they sell from here. But we're set up to support the makers.
The space currently houses over 140 different makers and artists, and they are hoping to expand in coming years to accommodate more products and potentially double the amount of makers they can support. Josh Howrelak, Primetime Local News.
A Lloydminster man has taken his passion for hot sauce to a new level. Stacey Comer spoke with the man who has turned his hobby into a business.
I'm happy to be joined on Primetime Local News today by Kenny Mack. Kenny is a familiar face in Lloydminster for a number of reasons, but today Kenny is joining us to talk about his hot sauces. Thank you for joining us today, Kenny.
Thank you for having me, Stacey.
Well, Kenny, I've seen your hot sauces in stores around Lloydminster, and I had a look at your website, and holy smokes, you have a lot of sauces, a lot of flavors to choose from, and so many unique flavors. Let's start maybe by talking about the history of the company. How did you get into this?
I just, since I was a kid, loved hot sauce. There was a family member who used to make hot food all the time, and I don't know, started to enjoy the feel of the burn after you get through it and whatnot. And some people call it the endorphin rush. And just my whole life, I've loved hot sauce. And the first hot sauce I tried making was it must have been 15 years ago, and it wasn't real good. But I knew that I wanted to keep trying, and so I kept trying, and got into fermenting peppers and whatnot. And then I met a guy in Calgary that makes hot sauce and one of Canada's big hot sauce companies, and man, he just made me think I could do it. So I just started to make hot sauce, and I should back up because I wasn't trying to do anything with it except for just make some hot sauce and get it out to my friends. And I was having coffee with my buddy Nick from Kingdom Mind Media, and he said, "Why don't you just try it? Like, you're already there. You might as well." So I set my sights on maybe one day doing a farmer's market, and so the rest is history.
Well, Kenny, on the website, you have, as I said, such unique flavors. You've got some that have like soda pop type flavors, and then some that look like they would probably kill me if I actually tried them. So how do you come up with the different flavors? Is it just based on things that you like?
Yeah, absolutely. For instance, this one here, this is your sweet honey fireberry.
Okay.
My daughter and I were at a hot sauce store in Edmonton, and a lady had told me that had worked there. She had told me, "Have you tried the cinnamon hot sauce? I have a customer that puts his stuff on ice cream." And I was like, "What? On ice cream? That's the craziest things." And then it was, just like in the movies when the light bulb goes, I need to make a hot sauce that has, that goes for ice cream. So this is sweet honey fireberry, and it's got 5 different berries, and it tastes amazing on ice cream. And there's a place in Marwayne, well, I'm going to say it, Cat Tracks in Marwayne, they make a milkshake featuring it. So that's pretty exciting. And it's so good.
Well, let's talk about some of the flavors that you have, Kenny. Can you go through the list of some of the flavors that you have in your collection?
Oh, now you're challenging me. Yes, we have I've got a few samples here. We've got the sweet honey cherry hottie sauce. There's a little, well, that's my daughter on the label there. So not really. We've got the magical unicorn radish. If you love horseradish, you'll love this hot sauce. Sweet honey fireberry. We have real deadly root beer. We have Pock der Depper, which is suspiciously like one of the famous soft drinks out there. How could I forget? Spicy dill pickle, which is the all-time favorite. It probably 5 times more than any other it sells. It's just crazy. People love it. And when we have our super hots, and the reason we call them super hots is because you have your jalapenos, your habaneros, and your serranos, and all your, but then you get the extra hot peppers that have come out, which are classified as super hot. So you have your ghost peppers and your scorpion peppers and Carolina Reapers. So we have a ghost pepper hot sauce called Holy Ghost Bateman, and then we have a Death Stalker Scorpion, holy moly, I better not forget my own names, and the more Cowbell Reaper sauce. And then the brand new released super hot, spicy dill pickle. Sorry, I don't know where my camera is. I'm trying to
Yeah,
look
no,
into the.
we can see them perfectly, Kenny.
Okay, perfect.
Now, do any
So-
of these come with warning labels on them because they are so incredibly hot, or are even the hottest of the hot okay for people who maybe don't like crazy hot?
Awesome question. Most times people are looking for something that is really hot and they can handle. Being that we're an artisan company, we've really decided that we want to go with quality, and we want to go with more of a gourmet taste. But I'm a super hot fan as well. But out there are those hot sauces that you can sign a waiver for, and they're basically just extracts. We don't want to go there. So to answer your question, yes, they're very hot. They satisfy the hottest chili head, but the taste is there. And for a normal person that kind of is regular and still has their taste buds, it's too hot for them. So we have something that goes from our jalapeno one, the friendly jalapeno we call it, and all the way up to this one, and then the Reaper one is our hottest one. So, but taste is number one for us.
Well, Kenny, it's obviously a unique Christmas gift that people could buy heading up here, and a lot of people looking to shop local. I know you have them in a number of locations, not just in Lloydminster, but in Alberta and Saskatchewan. So if people are looking to purchase, where can they find that information as to where it's located, as well as directing them to your website so they can order from there if necessary?
Yes, well, all of that information that you mentioned is on our website, www.kmartisan, it's ARTISAN.ca. And on there, you'll find all our hot sauces listed, the prices. We have a big sale going on right now for Christmas time, as well as a list of retailers. So we do, in fact, have, I think, 4 or 5 in Lloydminster. So you don't have to wait for us to get a delivery to you. You can just go right to those stores, and they're very awesome. Every single one of the stores, of course.
Well, Kenny, thank you so much for joining us today. This is fabulous. And again, we're encouraging people to shop local. So this is such a great, unique idea. And we wish you luck. And we're looking forward to see what other flavors you have going forward. Always something new to try out, it seems, with your sauces. So thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Stacy. And I just want to shout out to my partner, Dave, out in Rosetown. I've got a partner. His name is Dave Misko. Hey, buddy. Sorry you couldn't be on the news. Thanks, Stacy. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you.
Now, Shelby Clark will let us know if we can expect more snow throughout the evening. Thanks so much, Jasmine. Now taking a first look at your weather forecast. For here in the border city, we did see a cooler day today. We're sitting at -14. With that wind chill, it is feeling like -23, and we will be cooling down a lot more throughout the week. So make sure you are plugging in your vehicles throughout the nights for this week especially. We are seeing some cloudier skies, and we will not be seeing any snowfall throughout the remainder of the evening. So it has finally ended. And now switching over to our temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, especially up in this area with Lac-La-Biche down to St. Paul, they do have a snowfall warning in effect. They will be seeing around 10 to 20 centimeters of some snow throughout the evening. So if you're in those areas, expect to see some heavy snow, but most spots are seeing around -15, -16 degrees. Lac-La-Biche is at -18, while Bonnyville is at -14. Edmonton is at -18 as well, while Vegreville is sitting at -17 degrees, and down in Wainwright they're at -15, while Provost is at -12. Switching over to the Saskatchewan side here, they're seeing some slightly cooler temperatures as well here. -15 up in La Crosse. Green Lake is at -11 degrees, as well as down in Macklin. -14 for Meadow Lake, while it is -12 in St. Walburg. -13 in Pearson and Maidstone, and North Battleford is the warmest, sitting at -5. And for North Battleford overnight, they will be going down to a low of -18 degrees. They will be cooling down quite a bit. They will be seeing a high chance of some snowfall throughout the evening, and tomorrow that will continue with a mix of some sun and cloud, and they will be seeing -16 for their temperature tomorrow. Switching over to
Cold Lake, they'll be going down to a low of -21, and we'll be feeling like more like -28 with that wind chill. They will be seeing some heavy snowfall, as I was saying, and then tomorrow they will be seeing -18, so they will be cooling down quite a bit and seeing that snowfall continue on through the morning. And for here in the border city, we'll be going down to a low of -20. It will be feeling like -30 with that wind chill, so as I was saying, make sure you are plugging in your vehicles. And tomorrow we will be seeing -20, so we will be seeing a cooler day tomorrow as well. And switching over to our 3-day forecast for here in the border city, as I was saying, we will be cooling down for the week. Thursday we will be continuing that with -22 there with a low of -29, and Friday will be starting off this cooler weekend at -21. That's the first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more coming up after the break.
For a farmer, their soil health can greatly impact how well their crops can grow, but is also important for long-term sustainability. The way soil health is approached has changed over the years, and as Jillian Code finds, some are hoping to take soil maintenance to the next level. Here's that story.
Today on Primetime Local News, I'm joined by Antonius Petro, who is the co-director of Regeneration Canada. Now, Antonius, farmers know that soil regeneration is, of course, very important, but could you speak to me as why soil regeneration is so important?
Yeah, so we need to remind ourselves that our existence, the humanity existence, really depends on the first couple of inches of our topsoil. So as you just said, not only food production and food security, but everything from medicine and clothing and to climate change and mitigation and adaptation. So when we think about the soil, it's really that very rich ecosystem, the most diverse ecosystem on Earth, that is very important to mitigate climate change. Everything that we've been seeing lately in Canada, from flood, from drought, and the loss of biodiversity, everything could be restored and mitigated when we take care of our soil. So beyond farming, I think everybody should really take care of soil, whether it be on our garden, in our backyard, the soil in our forest, our peatland, and all our wetland, and also in our cropland and grazing. So food production, climate change mitigation and adaptation, and that all really lead to improving the human health, because we are what we eat, and what we eat comes from our soil. So whatever is found in our soil goes up to the plant, to the animal, and then to human. So it is the thing that we should all be talking about right now.
And I know there are, soil maintenance tricks or tools that farmers do use, such as, crop rotations, no-till, things like that. Do you maybe have some other tools that farmers could use to help maintain their soil?
Yeah, so regenerative agriculture, provide, principles and practices for land steward and farmer and ranchers to regenerate the health of their soil, and also to enhance the economic viability and profitability of a farm, and along the line increasing biodiversity, increasing carbon sequestration, improving water quality, improving the physical and chemical property of their soil. But we need to understand that it's all very place and context based. So the first thing that our lots of pioneer farmers and ranchers across the country are doing is to think about regenerative agriculture as a set of principles and practices that should be adapted to the farm context. And this context, it's not only about the biophysical side of it, but also the human side of it. Where are we at now? What do we need? Because at the end of the day, a farmer and rancher's job is to provide to their family. So we need to think of this as a very unique and promising solution but always needs adaptation. The very first step is to understand the context and the history of the land to avoid working against nature. And now there are principles to regenerate the soil, going from minimizing the soil disturbances. So we're talking here about no-till or low-till or a mix of all of that. Keeping the soil cover. A naked soil is a huge risk environmentally and economically. Keeping living roots. So always have something growing throughout the year. And again, even in our weather, there is lots of farmers and ranchers that are keeping living roots throughout the year, even during winter. And there's also integrating animals. And I'm not here talking about only livestock, but any kind of animal that we, for the past few decades, excluded them from our ecosystem. We need to invite them back. So enhancing the biodiversity in the soil would also enhance the biodiversity above the soil, bringing all the beneficial insects and also the ruminant that had been, especially in the prairies, that have been part of our ecosystem for many, many years. So we need to bring them with the right methodology. We can do this in a way that regenerate the health of our soil.
Absolutely. Antonius, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Now here's a look at your egg prices. The Lloydminster Bobcats have begun a new initiative with a goal of scoring goals. Evan Kenny has more on how the team's helping the community.
It was a good weekend for the Lloydminster Bobcats offense to heat up. Sunday afternoon, the Bobcats defeated the Olds Grizzlies 9-5 and also raised $225 through the Giving Goals program.
So for every goal that the Bobcats score this year, $25 will be donated to the Lloydminster Youth Center. And then if we hit 200, it doubles after 200.
As if the players needed more reason to score goals, Dubé thinks this will increase the team's production.
Well, I think it's an incentive for our guys to score goals, and I think it's even more meaningful because they did all the work to set it up. We didn't have any part to do with it. They went and met with Boundary, met with Carly over there and had things set up, and I think that's a big part. It also shows the players that we have here in our community, a part of our organization, that care that much to go out on their own and do that. I think that's huge.
The initiative started while the team honored a longtime community member, Bob Troop.
It was Bob's pride and joy every time that you went into Boundary. He showed you the wall with all the pucks on it and let you know about the given goals, and that was definitely a legacy of Bob that will continue on here, and he's really passionate about it, so we wanted to make sure that that could move forward with Boundary Forward and Boundary Gives.
On the season, the Bobcats have scored 106 goals in 33 games. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Now Shelby Clark will get another look at this evening's forecast.
Thanks so much, Jasmine. Now taking another look at your weather forecast, we're looking at the central region of Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, we are cooling down quite a bit. As you can see, most are sitting at that -18 point, -19 in Whitecourt, while Athabasca is sitting at -19 degrees as well, and Jasper is at -17. Switching over to the Saskatchewan side here, they're seeing some slightly warmer temperatures compared to the Alberta side. Cold Lake is at -16 degrees, -14 in Meadow Lake, while Prince Albert and Melfort are both at -7, so they are seeing some warmer temperatures in those areas. North Battleford is at -8 and Saskatoon is at -4 degrees. And as we switch over to our northern region of the provinces, They have cooled down quite a bit compared to the central region as usual. Flin Flon is at -7, so Flin Flon is seeing a little slightly warmer temperatures compared to the rest. -13 in La Ronge, while it is -15 in South End, -17 in Buffalo Narrows and La Loche, while Wollaston Lake is at -19 degrees. And up in Uranium City and Stony Rapids, they're seeing the coolest at -24, -25. Switching over to this side here, they're seeing some slightly cooler temperatures as well compared. It is -21 in Grand Prairie, while it's -19 in Slave Lake, -23 degrees in Fort Chipewyan and Peace River, while Fort McMurray is at -22, and High Level is the coolest, almost hitting that -30 mark, sitting at -29 degrees. As we switch over to our southern region, they have cooled down surprisingly quite a bit. They have been seeing some warmer temperatures throughout the week, but today they are cooling down just like we are in the central region. Lethbridge is at -13, while Medicine Hat is seeing -11 degrees, -14 in Banff, and Calgary Coronation are seeing -16, -17. Switching over to this end here, they're seeing some warmer temperatures compared to the Alberta side. They are seeing those single-digit temps in most spots. -3 in Yorkton, while it is -4 degrees in Estevan, -5 in Regina, while Moose Jaw is seeing -6. It is -7, -9 degrees in Kindersley and Swift Current. But as we go back across the region, the temperatures overnight tonight, we will be cooling down quite a bit in most spots. So as I was saying earlier, make sure you are plugging in your vehicles throughout the night as we are heading more into the winter season. We're going to be seeing some cooler lows for evenings here. Now across the region, Pearson will be seeing a low of -20, a low of -18 for Unity tonight as well in Isle Cross. Meadow Lake will be seeing a low of -19 degrees, while it'll be a low of -21 in Bonnyville and Paradise Hill, a low of -22 to -24 in Wainwright, Murnum, and Provost. In most spots, we'll be seeing a high chance of some flurries throughout the night. Now temperatures tomorrow across the region, we will be cooling down quite a bit, ranging from around -18 to -22 degrees in most spots on the map. And now ending off with our 7-day forecast for here in the border city. Wednesday we'll be seeing -20, so as I was saying, we will be cooling down this week. -22 on Thursday, and we'll be seeing that continue on through Friday into the weekend. So we'll be cooling down on this weekend compared to what we've been seeing. We'll even be seeing a low of -33 for Saturday, so make sure we are bundling up outside, trying to stay warm. And next week we will be seeing that continue on to -20 starting off on Monday next week, and seeing -16 on Tuesday. That's another look at your weather forecast. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Welcome to Pet Project this week, everybody. We're joined, as always, with Becca Lawrence from the Lloydminster and Community SPCA. She's brought along a cute little friend for us today. So, Becca, why don't you introduce everybody?
Yeah, this handsome giant here that's playing shy right now is Gus. So he's a big boy. You can't really tell right now, but he's kind of chilling on my lap here. We think that he is a Pyrenees Anatolian Shepherd cross, along those lines anyway. He's basically all legs right now and has to do a little bit more filling out. But other than that, he is just an absolute love bug. He is a gentle giant, loves other dogs. He just wants to play with all of them. And then, oh, here he comes.
He's giving you pets now. What a change. What a turn of the tables.
How nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But yeah, his previous owner said he absolutely loved going to the dog park and hanging out with all the other puppies. And he is, like, honestly, I'm 5'4", and if he was up on my shoulders, he'd probably be taller than I am. And he is about 1 year and 3 months. So he's still got some growing to do.
So he's a big, lovable boy. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So he would probably be really well suited for somebody who, say, one to get a bit more activity in their day, right? Lots of times people will adopt a dog knowing that, you're going to have to walk it at least once or twice, maybe 3 times a day to get all of its energy out. And that's really good if you're looking for an extra motivator, as long as you obviously are taking that dog for all the walks it needs, because big dog like that needs to burn off energy.
That's right, yeah.
Beautiful. So we also have a big event coming up. I've chatted about it every day or every week since it's been announced, the Jail and Bail. I'm so pumped, and it's coming right up right away. So kind of just fill us in on, what's been happening this last week with that, Becca.
Yeah, so we're pretty much just putting all those finishing touches on it. I just have to finish setting up my website, and I'm good to go. And then on Thursday, we'll launch the silent auction at, I haven't totally decided yet, but either 7 or 8. in the morning. And yeah, and then we're gonna probably keep the website live over the weekend just to give anybody that wasn't able to kind of really come in or call throughout the day, to give them that opportunity to still donate towards our jail and bail, our jailees and all that fun stuff. But yeah, we have over 50 items available for our silent auction, so I'm really excited about that. Doubled from last year. And yeah, we have our good handful of comebackers from our jail and bail participants too. So we're really excited about that as well.
Yeah, and honestly, I saw some of your silent auction items on your Instagram. I know you guys have been sharing online, making sure that everybody is seeing what is available, and there's some really neat items there. So obviously, anybody, if you're interested, go check out the Instagram, check the Facebook, all that jazz. Get a good look before the day comes, because you're going to want to be prepared, get ready with those bids. Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, one last thing here before we go, Becca, but you guys had a bit of an influx of puppies this week, so why don't we chat a little bit about that, because you guys obviously there's some special needs that you guys have now.
Yeah, we got two mums and some puppies in. So the one mama had already had her babies when she came in. She had 9, and our second mama, she ended up having 5. So we are feeding them like crazy. Mamas are hungry. And so we're getting lots of puppy wet food for them and keeping food readily available for them throughout the entire day. And just so they can keep up their energy and keep feeding, especially that mama with 9, keep feeding those babies and getting them growing all big and healthy.
Yeah, so obviously, like Becca said, these dogs are hungry. So perhaps if you're out there, if you want to pick up some puppy food, that would be a great thing to do. Go drop it off at the SPCA and say hi to the puppies while you're there, perhaps.
They are hanging out up front here. Yeah, one mama's a little bit nervous about people being around the babies, so we'll probably keep everyone away. But hopefully in the next about 2 months, they'll be ready to go to their new forever homes.
Yeah, which would be wonderful. So obviously, if you've been in the market for a dog, mark that on your calendars. Make sure you check back with the SPCA. You're keeping an eye out for when these dogs kind of hit the market, so to speak. But that's all the time, unfortunately, we have for this week, Becca. But I want to thank you for taking time. I want to thank Gus for being able to sit still long enough to have a chat with us. He looks like he wants to get out and get playing again. So we'll wrap it up here for him. But once again, thank you everybody for viewing, and thank you, Becca, for chatting with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if anyone wants to send in an application for him, you can just go to our website at lloydminstersbca.com and fill one out.
Perfect. There you go. If anybody wants to take Gus home, you have the chance. Thank you so much, Becca.
Thank you.
Manage your waste and recyclables with Quick Pick Waste Disposal. Call 780-875-4100 today or visit quickpick.ca.
Joining us for Primetime Local News today is author Freddie Cruz to speak on his novel called They Canceled the DJ, and this was released earlier in the fall. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you for the invite. I've never been on Canadian television, so this is a first in my entire life. I'm excited.
Perfect, and we're really glad to be able to have you on here. Now, can you tell us, by starting off, of course, what this book is all about?
Well, this book is inspired by actual events, which go back to a music festival a few years ago. One of my DJ friends, his name is Tyler, he works on the radio station with me, and he was backstage with a band that shall remain nameless. And there was a photographer and then her coworkers, and he thought he was hitting it off with her until she ditched him for a musician. And so that's where it's inspired by actual events. So I took the raw idea of what happened with him, which is funny in and of itself, but I took it and turned it into a worst case scenario, which would be not just a musician ditching somebody who thought he had a chance, but this is a world famous, think Shawn Mendes, but with a bunch of tattoos and a beard. Think this kind of fame, but ditching a girlfriend, ditching AC, the protagonist, on stage for the world to see. And then after that, hilarity and mayhem and chaos ensue.
This book already sounds like it has a very interesting storyline. Now, of course, you are a media personality in the Houston area, so you are saying that this was an inspiration for this novel?
Yes, absolutely. And he and I had spoken, and we still, I mean, he's a coworker, so we speak pretty much every day. I work during the midday, he works at night, but we've spoken at length numerous times about the infamous incident. So yeah, it's he has fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it, obviously, because I wrote a whole book about the situation.
Since this has been released, how has support and reaction been for you?
Oh, it's been phenomenal. I have never had a blurb, an endorsement from a media source, from a newspaper that actually goes on the back matter of the cover. And so I want to shout out to Kimber Fountain, who is the editor for Galveston Monthly, gave me a nice blurb. One of my buddies, another coworker of mine, his name is Kevin. He blurbed the book for the front cover. So it's really cool. And the people who, what we call in the industry, beta readers, the beta readers enjoyed it. And that was the kind of unedited version of the story. And so they got that first glimpse, that quote unquote backstage view of the story in its infancy.
And for people wanting to check it out and they're interested already hearing about this novel, where can they go online to be able to access it and everything?
Yeah, sure. They can go to Amazon, or they can hit up my author website, thefreddycruz.com. So that's Freddy with a Y, FREDDYCRUZ, thefreddycruz.com.
Perfect. Was there anything else you want to add about this novel that I may have missed out on?
If you like to lampoon fandoms, I know this is the land of the Biebs, of Justin Bieber. If you lampoon the fandoms and you like to make fun of them, well, this is kind of a satire on crazed fandoms. If you are a fan of music in general, or of terrestrial radio, this is your story. It's not too serious. It's a bit of it's got some dark elements because it is a dark comedy, but it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I hope you enjoy a brief escape from the realities of 21st century Western Hemisphere life.
Well, thanks again so much for joining us today, Freddie.
Thank you.
Now ending off with taking another look at your 7-day forecast here. As I was saying, it is cooling down quite a bit, and for the evening we will be cooling down, so make sure you are plugging in your vehicle tonight. Tomorrow we'll be seeing -20, -22 on Thursday, while it'll continue on throughout the week into the weekend. We will be seeing a low of -33 even on Saturday, so be ready to bundle up and stay warm when you are outside. Sunday will end off with -16 degrees, and starting off next week we will be continuing that cold pattern with -20 on Monday and seeing a high chance of some flurries on Tuesday.
Thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News tonight, and have a good evening.